I do have some exciting news. I want to take a look at your new show and see how you guys, I don't think you guys have watched it yet, right?
No.
No, it's not out yet.
Not at all.
Let's take a look together and see how you guys feel about a couple of scenes.
You wore that dress a lot, I think.
Yeah, I did.
We have to get you to a doctor.
What's a doctor going to do?
Oh, I didn't see this. Okay. I mean, I wasn't in this.
Emotional.
Get you into the new clinical trial, okay?
We can't afford it.
Since I dropped
I'm so nervous to watch this.
and
You look great.
She was good, huh?
She was great.
So now I'm cancer-free, but now we're freaking.
And she looks and sounds like sick.
Mom and Dad adopt such an idiot.
Oh.
Okay.
That was such a good reaction. Gathered yourself, patience.
adopted or not.
Thanks.
How can you say that after we both lost?
It's so hard to watch yourself.
You're all I have left, Maya.
I'm sorry, Katie. You got into Princeton, had to drop out to take care of me, and I was just so tired of ruining
It looks like visually great.
Looks good.
Yeah.
Just let me die.
And without you, who would I have left to live for? Okay. I'll get you into that clinical
Contract.
no matter what.
What did she give you?
Yeah, I wasn't
To your
sure.
house.
Ooh,
How did she have it? Who was that?
I love that I just enter your house.
yeah. And this is such a
And
pretty
that's like
key.
such an old, yeah. Do I not have an alarm system on that?
You'd think a billionaire. I'm like, oh, I'll make myself comfortable.
You seem scared as hell.
A moment for the mansion.
Whoa.
Oh, DeWitt loved that shot. He was our DP. There he is.
Be Evan Brandt. Oh, crap. This is a horrible first impression. I am so sorry. Here, let me,
Oh.
Ooh, spicy.
Don't worry about it. I wouldn't want you to get your dress dirty. That would be a shame.
I can clean it for you.
Don't worry about it.
Face.
I forgot who I was.
Old boring shit.
Because we did this like late in the shoot.
Matter of fact, go grab me one from the dresser.
The whole thing. 'Cause and we kept refolding it. Oh, there it goes.
Oh my gosh.
You look great.
Oh, I did look good for this one.
It's like, oh, damn.
Oh, wow.
Steamy.
Oh. Oh, I'm like really taken back by my...
Why would a man like this need a fake wife? Katie, what have you got?
A man like this.
So before I call the police on you for
So the
Oh, the
key to
heart.
these scenes is not
The
to
heart
act.
pumping.
That was my actual heartbeat.
Oh,
I have that effect.
a man
And those are
like
my
this.
actual abs.
They didn't paint those on?
Not this time.
contract to be my wife and the mother of my child.
I
Big decision.
mean,
A huge
this is just
decision.
normal stuff. This is like first date conversation, right?
You got me pinned against the door.
for it, Mr. Brandt.
Good luck.
Is this how most of your first dates go?
They usually don't spill wine on me.
Sorry.
Call me Evan.
Oh!
That was the one.
Come on.
Damn!
I love seeing you guys work together and act together. I think you guys have great chemistry. What would you say was different about working on the set? I know that the first show that you guys were on, you guys were in New York and now you're in LA. Is there any fun moments or any experiences that you guys had on set here?
Yeah, I think it was fun because this was my first time working with someone for the second time. And we had such great chemistry the first time. It was exciting to get back to that and see if it was still there and what else could happen. because you're always searching for something as a creative and trying to figure out what's going to come out in the moment. And working with someone who you know very well and already have chemistry with, it allows you to be even more free and not so like second guessing each other, and just you already know like how each other work and
It feels natural.
Yeah. Yeah, so it allows you to flow more.
And have more fun too.
Mm-hmm.
Joke around, and we were making little dances and
The first one, I was super serious trying to do my best. And so in this one, we were able to just kind of let go and be more free. And we probably had too much fun.
maybe.
We were just laughing the whole time.
Is it easier when you act with someone that you've had a project with before?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think for sure it is.
Even if the roles are different? Like, did you still imagine Meg as Mr. Hill's adorable wife?
No, I don't think so. I don't think that was an issue because I've done so many since then. And then also her being in LA, it's just like a completely different setting.
We had a couple months there where I was living in New York after we did ours together. So we had time apart, and then to come back together and like reunite for another project was really exciting.
Which set do you think you had more fun on? Mr. Hill's adorable wife or this new show?
Definitely this new show. It was enjoyable, to say the least. And it was cool having her in Los Angeles and working with me here. What an honor for you.
For me, in both of ours, we always have a pool, and it's always freezing. And so we're always like huddled, like cuddling together for warmth. And then they give us warm water to keep our bodies warm while we're doing the takes. And then I burned my mouth on the hot water, and then I was like, I'm just a hot mess right now.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the thing about these is the film shoots are pretty quick. So in a very short amount of time, you lean on each other and get so close with everyone. And I have had the most phenomenal cast and crews. Both of our crews were outstanding, and the directors and
Yeah, New York was awesome too. Hector,
shout out.
missed that guy.
And Rachel on this new one. Yeah, we had a blast. And we got to know our intimacy coordinator from this one pretty well, Olivia. She does a bunch of these.
Yeah, she's
And
great.
a lot of spicy scenes. So
A lot.
Well, if you guys want to see Meg and Jesse in this new show, stay tuned. It's going to be releasing soon. And as you guys heard, they had a lot of fun on set, and I can't wait for us to all experience it. Mr. Hill's adorable wife was such a hit and such a fan favorite. I think everyone loves that series. How has life been since? Has there been anything new, any accomplishments since shooting?
well, like weeks after it came out, we hit #1 again on the app, which was so exciting. It was just like it was a fun challenge to shoot.
It kept bouncing from #1 and then back up.
Well, I don't think it was even #1 at the beginning, and then it like everyone like loved it. So then it like peaked.
Huh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
No, that's great. I noticed I can't leave the house anymore without paparazzi. And
We actually do. Have you like gotten anyone to be like, are you from that?
one person.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
In LA?
In LA, that's huge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's huge.
Yeah.
How about some DMs? You got any DMs?
Yeah, I think so. I think a few. I think my DMs are popping off now
Yeah.
a little bit. And honestly, there's so many, and they're full of compliments and nice things. People are being very nice and supportive. So that's cool to go in there and try to catch up and read them all.
Any cool interactions with like fans?
I haven't met anyone in person. Just one. And they were very nice. It was cool. It was cool experiencing that. And
Some of the compliments online are like really wonderful, and like always the ones about like the acting touch the hardest. I don't know about you, but like people who are just taken aback with certain scenes and are like specific about things they loved. Like it's so heartwarming.
Would you say it impacted your life in any way?
Oh my gosh, yeah.
yeah, I live in Bel Air now. I live in the hills. No. Yeah, it's cool. It's cool to get that positive feedback in something that you are passionate about and that you think is a big part of you in your life and who you want to be. And people enjoy it and they appreciate it. It's like nice to hear that.
Yeah, and it keeps you going. Like what you said earlier about consistency, hitting #1, I would think it would give you like more fuel to continue creating.
Completely. And hearing about specific things that people love, and it makes you relive filming those moments and sharing that with people who love it. And yeah, it's just wonderful because each shoot is like an adventure, and there are things that go wrong and points that are really challenging, but the adventure of it makes the whole experience so exciting.
What would you say is like a favorite time on set or an experience that you had? Because I know you said that, it's so exciting to come on set and do all these things. What is a good experience that you guys had on this set?
Well, I mean, every intimacy scene with Meg is a great experience.
Life-changing, right?
No, we honestly have a lot of fun doing those. And
Because we just giggle
we just giggle the whole time. That's the secret to the intimacy, is just giggling.
between takes. And then there'll be like action and we're like,
Yeah. Oh, and the heavy breathing.
Oh.
When I count down from 3, start moaning.
What?
3,
No.
2.
Fine.
yeah. So before they call action for the intimacy scenes, they're like, okay, back to heavy breathing because you get out of the cycle of it. And then we're like, okay.
Yeah,
We have to
you're
get
like
back,
blue in the
right
face.
back into it. Yeah, there's so many. It's like hard to pick like certain experiences because there's so many each day as like crazy experiences.
And the overall impact, on your careers, I think, like Jesse said, being able to stay consistent into something that he's passionate about and then seeing that show go number one, I think is like reassuring, I would say.
It's, incredibly, yeah.
Because you're going out there, and as an actor, or like for me, I try to take chances. My coach is really big on
Risks.
making big choices and hot choices. And
And welcoming change.
yeah, just going out there and
Welcoming
really.
change. Full circle.
Oh gosh. No, right. But going out there, it feels very vulnerable to go out there and make those big choices. But that's why we practice them in acting class. So when you are on set and you're in a room full of all these people kind of like waiting on you to do your thing, you just have that little voice in your head that's like, all right, do what you know what you are supposed to do and what feels right. Just go with it. And for you to do that, and then an audience give you the positive feedback saying they love this scene, that scene, they love what you're doing. It feels good.
It's very
and it gives you
reassuring.
positive.
Yeah.
It gives you confidence, and
To keep
and
going.
so the next one you do, you're like, oh, I can't wait to make more choices and hopefully
Right.
entertain.
And that's another wonderful thing about working with someone you've worked with before is that there's no like overthinking and you just kind of get into it and you can play and you can experiment and try different things. And there were scenes in this where we would just like be slow dancing to no music for like 10 minutes while people watched. And it was like just feeling the flow of it and being comfortable enough to like in each moment try different things with each other was exciting.
Yeah. I see like a theme of trying new things, of taking risks, of staying patient, of welcoming change. I guess, what are some things that will keep you confident on set? Because as you mentioned, there's so many people watching, you're doing these acting classes to be prepared, but what are some things that keep you guys confident or challenges to you guys on set?
I feel like on every set there's like hype people, like people on the crew who like just hype you up and can kind of see when you need it. I've been so lucky with the most wonderful hair and makeup artists. And on ours, her name was Nan, and we're like good friends now, and she would just hype me up. So I feel like that's a big one, is being like tight with the crew and
Feeling
finding
prepared.
people you're comfortable
And
with.
feeling prepared too, like you mentioned, like
Everything.
glam artist is making sure that you look great and that you reflect that back on the views and on the
Yeah.
audience.
So you don't even have to think about that, and you can just like feel in the moment based on the work you've already done that is now in your body.
Yeah, of course. It helps you just like ramp up and get started. What about you, Jesse? Like, what are some things, you seem very confident as it is, but what are some things that keep you confident on set?
It goes back to the same thing Meg said. It's all about being prepared and doing the work and acting class and all your downtime. A lot of people don't realize as an artist, you have a lot of downtime in your career. And I think filling that time with being productive and trying to stay creative and just push your mind and your imagination to figure things out as an actor. I think that you just have to remember those things and what you've done and how far you've grown. And when you're on set by yourself, let's say you have a big scene, it's like a monologue. There's moments where you feel very alone and everyone's like on the other side of the camera. In that moment, that's what keeps you confident, is just like knowing that, okay, I've done all this before, I've done my work. It's all about being prepared.
Yeah.
And belief
And believe.
that's huge.
Believe
That changed
in
my
what?
life forever.
Belief in what?
Whatever it is you believe in,
Yeah.
there's no right or wrong. As long as it's a positive thing and it doesn't affect others negatively, you believe whatever it is you got to believe.
Yeah. So, guys, Jesse's lessons: stay patient and believe. Believe in what
philosopher
you
now.
believe in, and Meg will push you to be open to change.
Yeah.
I think those are
I
great
like
lessons.
that.
That's a great combination of goals and lessons together.
Yeah.
You know, stay patient,
Mm-hmm.
but also welcome change.
Patient, welcome change.
Perfect like balance, you know? And then just to sprinkle that on top, you're going to believe in whatever it is that you decide.
And something else we learned.
It's like a triangle, because if you don't believe it, how can you welcome it? And how can you be patient to it?
So wise. God, I could
Wow,
just learn
Jessie.
from you all day. In acting school, when I went to college, something that they taught us a lot was doing the work and doing the backstory for the character and getting really in there and doing, you know, all the things you have to do in private to prepare.
Mhm.
And then when you get on set, you can just forget it because it's in you, because you've done the work, and then you can just live in the moment, take the risks, and go for it.
Mr. Hill's adorable wife was such a hit. And I think the chemistry between you two was amazing. I think part of that chemistry comes from your personal life and all the new lessons and growth you had in 2024. I'm so curious to know who Jessie and Meg really are off camera.
A lot of my characters, they have some personality traits of mine. I would say not 100%, but definitely some things, some positive things that I feel like I have.
What would you say some of those traits are?
What would you say they are? Well, off camera, I'm really goofy. I'm down to earth. Like I'm a pretty simple guy. I love making sure people are having a good time. Like I'm very extroverted and social, and I'm all about just entertaining people and having fun, keeping it light.
He just has a charisma that a lot of his characters carry. And we always joke that there's this thing that he says that is...
It sums up my characters.
It sums up his characters, but it's also him in real life. He'll be like...
Let's hear it.
Don't worry. I'll handle it.
That like sums up my characters in one sentence.
Yeah, but also Jessie.
Yeah, I like handling things. I've been called the coach in real life, just kind of quarterbacking something, making sure it's getting taken care of. Okay, how can we knock this out? How can we do this and like move forward?
And make sure people feel
that.
taken care of and all that.
Yeah. I'm old school.
Yeah, I mean, I see that Meg has this theme of like a duality to you, like this softness and this hardness. And I think Jessie has like this charisma that pulls in on set with his roles and as well as him off camera. And I think it's interesting to see that some of the traits relate to your like off camera personality. What are your top 3 important like things you can't live without?
Ooh. Okay, well, can I wrap like my mom, dad, and sister into one?
Family.
Family, great. Love them.
Yeah.
Love you guys.
Yeah, that goes without saying, like a support group, a family.
Yeah.
I feel like a big motivation is doing all this for something more than myself. I feel like that's a strong motivator for me, not only just fulfilling, something that I want to do and I love for a living, but also being able to support or take care of others or be there for other people. That's a big thing for sure for me. What else? What's number 2?
Number 2 would be my guitar, so I can keep playing and writing. I love it so much. And whenever I'm having like an overwhelming feeling in life, I'll figure out the words and I'll put it into a song. And it's so therapeutic. Yeah. And
for me, it's my tennis racket.
I was gonna say tennis racket. You should say that.
It's my racket because it's not just the sport. It's not just going out and having fun, but it's an escape. It's therapeutic. When I play tennis, it's like time just flies by and I don't think about anything else. That's what's cool about it, is it makes you be so present and focused on what you're doing. And you just get into this zone and it feels good. It's a flow. It's a flow. And
what's your 3rd one?
So in talking about the duality, I might look nice, but I can kick a butt too, So I would say a weight or like something to get big and strong.
Okay.
A family, tennis racket, a 3rd one. A purpose in life.
Okay.
You
I'm
have
like
to have
a dumbbell, and he's like,
No, it's
purpose.
okay. Don't feel bad. Your answer was great. It was fine. It was cute. But I feel like without a purpose, without something that you're striving towards and really want, and that you're going to be disciplined and focused and just try to get your all. I feel like that's what life's about. If I'm not focused on something, if I'm not trying to do something, then I feel just kind of like I'm floating. I'm not really living. So
Yeah.
I feel like that's the third thing you need,
Yeah.
or I need, is
Yeah.
something to live for.
Absolutely. I think those were beautiful. I'm feeling so inspired. You have me ready for my New Year's vision board.
I'm so sorry.
I need to take mine back. Gratitude.
Gratitude. I mean, I think gratitude is...
It's huge.
Yeah.
It's huge. Because I think it's so easy to take things for granted and get stuck in the spotlight and all of that. But if you take a moment to remember who got you there,
Yeah.
and the work that you put in yourself, that's really grounding and humbling.
Yeah. And I think just learning about your top 3 things, I learned so much about you guys. I learned about your duality, your guitar, that you lift. And I think you guys have so many hidden talents from what I see. Lots of hidden talents. I mean, Jesse is a very wise philosopher. He has great, he's getting me ready for the New Year's.
wise.
I have new goals. I think I want to work on my patience and on my purpose. Thanks so much, Jesse.
Mm.
But what are some of your hidden talents? What are some things that you guys, you would say that you're talented in that you want the fans to know?
Can't. I cannot.
The silence.
I would say
Hidden talent. Hidden.
Hidden talent.
mine are tumbling. I used to do gymnastics and I try to keep up with it a little bit. I definitely want to get better in the new year. And I like to sing opera.
Opera.
That's kind of how it all started with musicals and all that good stuff. Now I'm more in the film world, of course, but I still love to sing opera.
Wow.
Hidden talent. I'm actually a pretty good coach when I help people with things or like try to learn things, pick things up. I have a good way of explaining and keeping it simple. I've heard that. I'm a good listener. I feel like when people need help with something or are not quite sure what to do or how to feel,
You always
I feel
go
like
so
I'm there
deep.
for people. I mean, different walks of life, right? Probably the one I'm most like shy about is when I was younger, I did like the best velociraptor impression
There we go.
ever.
See,
And-
this is what we need.
Okay, well, on YouTube or the internet now, you can see all this stuff. Like people actually having competitions, trying to like, who has the best raptor, dinosaur, whatever. And every time I watch them, my friends, my old school friends from back in high school, they send me these clips, and they're just never
as good?
I think we need
a
I'd smoke 'em
sample.
all.
Yeah.
But no, it's something that is in the vaults. I've retired that thing.
You should
I'm
just-
not even flexible enough to do it anymore. And the
Flexible
pitch,
enough.
the voices those things make, like the sounds, like I can't do it anymore. I can only do like one of them. My voice has changed, and I'm just not as flexible as I used to be.
And speaking of flexibility, I think you were a dancer, right?
I was, yes.
Is that where you
Long time
picked up
ago.
flexibility from?
Yeah, I guess so. Sometimes you have to get lower than the average person or, hit a deep lunge, whatever it is. I didn't grow up doing ballet or anything technical.
What type of dancing?
Hip hop and salsa,
Hip hop
mostly.
and salsa?
Yeah, different genres of hip hop.
Yeah. So, did you compete in dancing, or was this just something you did as like a hobby or something you did at home?
Well, growing up, I just did it for fun. My parents actually met dancing, country and western, salsa, disco, back when people actually used to go out and just dance.
Yeah, I love that.
Now I don't know what they do. I don't know what they call
I
it.
love a good salsa class or dance, but
Yeah,
I
it's-
understand it's not as common.
Yeah, it's just not a thing as much anymore.
Did you ever go to a country bar in Texas and do some line
Oh
dancing?
yeah. There
Yeah?
were quite a few popular spots. Used to go there often.
So you did it as a hobby, and you grew up around dancers. Well, your parents met each other dancing.
And that's
then-
how they met, just like out dancing. And so that was the first time they met. But growing up, we were just always the family that would dance. And people would always encourage us to come to their weddings or parties or whatever. And they would always be excited to see us there because we'd be dancing. We'd be like the people who started the dance party on the floor.
Did you say like dancing is like in your blood? It's like something that's like natural.
Yeah, I was doing it. There's videos of me doing it before I could speak. Like it was just what we did.
Did you ever try to like take dancing like for a competition or to dance like professionally, or since it seems like it's something that you grew up with and that has always been around?
I didn't really think about being a professional until after I graduated high school. But in middle school, that's when I started dancing like in public, doing talent shows and performances. And people liked it. I was starting to win competitions every time I'd perform, and it became a thing in high school. People would look forward to the pep rally I was going to perform at, and at that time it was just fun. It was just something I loved doing, and it felt good. And after high school, I kept dancing. I started going into the city because I grew up like 20 minutes outside of Dallas, and so I would go into Dallas and find dance studios to take classes, and I met more people who did it, and I finally went to a convention that would travel the world and teach kids like these world famous music video dances and choreography. And someone noticed me there and said, "Hey, you're pretty good. If you don't have anything going on in Texas, you should move to LA and pursue a dance career."
Oh wow.
So that was the first time. I think I was like 19 when that happened, or 20.
Yeah.
And that was the first time I actually considered it. And so I told my parents, and my dad loved dancing. My mom does too, but my dad, that was like his thing. And so when he found out that I was considering it, they both just supported me 100%. They were like, "You're young." My dad was like, "If I was your age, if I was you, like I would do it. Like just go, just have fun and see what happens."
You moved here alone when you were that young?
I moved here with someone that was a mutual friend with my friend. We had a friend in common, and he introduced us because he was thinking about moving to LA at the same time. So I moved out here with him. And so we knew each other for 2 weeks before we moved to LA. And we actually still live together. It's crazy. Had a roommate for like...
It's like he took a leap of faith and just came out here to dance. And where did that take you? Did you come to LA? Did you end up dancing when you got to LA?
Yeah, so I moved to LA. I got an agent like the first week and started auditioning and going to class and networking. And I booked my first gig like 3 months after that. And you think, oh, this is it. It's meant to be. It was actually with Beyonce. It was a pretty cool first gig. And you think, oh, yep, this is what I'm supposed to do.
Yeah.
And then after that, it was like nothing. It was like nothing for like 6-7 months. And then you slowly start meeting people and doing smaller jobs. And eventually things start happening for you. You get better, start meeting people, and so things start happening. And slowly but surely, just the jobs that started getting bigger, better. And so I ended up doing some pretty cool things.
Was that the only opportunity that you worked with like a A-lister, like a big celebrity like Beyonce?
No, I worked with Mariah Carey.
Oh,
too.
cool.
That was cool. That was really cool. I got to work with a lot of good friends on that one. I think that's what made it so special. I remember my parents, my mom growing up, she would listen to Mariah Carey all the time. She loved her. And so it was cool to finally perform with someone who actually felt something with her music. Sometimes as a dancer, you don't get to do necessarily like the dance moves you want to do or dance to the music that you love. And so with her, I loved her music.
To connect
and
with
so,
her music.
Yeah, it was just a feeling. It was a good feeling to have.
What would you say is the project you were the most proud of or had the most exposure in your dancing career?
It was probably Channing Tatum's show.
Channing Tatum's show?
Yeah, I don't know if you know who Channing Tatum is, but
yeah,
he
of
has,
course.
or what he's known for, but he had a show in Vegas. It's still there. It's called Magic Mike Live. And I was a part of that when it first started.
That's pretty big. I think everyone is familiar with Magic Mike.
Yeah, most people that I talk to about it, they've heard of him or that name. And so as soon as I bring it up, they start to smirk and giggle. But that show is actually awesome.
Yeah.
The movies don't even do it justice. The movies have their story, and it's along more of a traditional...
But the athleticism required in those dances and how often you did it is insane.
It is insane, yeah.
And it's
No,
awesome.
that's the thing is the show's actually like a production. It's like a legit show with all kinds of talented men and doing all sorts of things. And there's other shows out there in Vegas that are in the same genre, but they're just not quite the same show. And there's nothing wrong with those shows. It's just a little different. It's a little bit more traditional in
hardcore
the
dancing.
sense
Yeah.
of what people assume it's going to be. But with this one, it was definitely special what they've done. And they did it right. It was really cool to be a part of. I certainly enjoyed it.
Yeah, I think I see that perfect because you have so much charisma, and I think that would be like a perfect role and a good experience to like further your dancing. I think it's very interesting to hear a little bit about like your hidden talents and everything you've dabbled in. It's very interesting to see how it got you here now, and you're at a place that you're being more consistent with acting. And how did dancing then? Did you transition into acting after?
Yeah, so when I first started doing the show, I knew it was going to be great because there were a few of us that were selected for solos during the show. And that kind of gives you an extra boost of confidence and like that you're doing the right thing and that you're meant, this is your purpose or whatever. And so doing this show in Vegas, it really gave me just the next level of confidence.
Yeah.
And I felt like I was ready for the limelight. I knew that I was ready for that next level of entertainment. And as a dancer, you're used to performing and putting on a show with like your physicality, like more so like your physical being. Like, you know, your expressions and whatnot are still there, but people don't really get to know who you are personally. And that was one thing I was starting to crave more. It was like performing with like my personality more and not just being like this
Just dance,
naked
like,
hot guy all the time. It's
Yeah.
just like,
It's so hard.
you know, it's, you know.
I mean, Magic Mike is really, really well known, and it's like really interesting to have heard that experience, that it's so well produced and that there's so many like it, but that's like the top bar. And to have a star on our shows that, you know, comes from that, I think is great. And I think it's very interesting. It brings that charisma and that spice to the scenes.
You have to give yourself so much credit
Yeah.
too, because it's like you're doing so many shows each week and it's challenging. You have to keep yourself in tip-top shape. But that's a hard lifestyle.
Yeah. And I think both
It's
of
not
you
easy,
guys,
no.
I think both of you guys are great entertainers. And I think both of you guys, like, I mean, you sing, you have opera, you dance, you teach. And I know that there was other things before you got into acting that you were interested in, which completely, I think, are even more intriguing.
Yeah.
Before you got into acting, I think you were into more of like physics and more of science, right?
Yes, you remember.
Which brings back the theme of duality for you. I mean, this girl is so spontaneous, so unpredictable. I mean, she's gonna give you the physics, but then she's gonna give you the opera.
And then I'm going to have a complete lack of common sense and be able to solve the theory of relativity or something.
The theory,
Like-
the Pythagorean theorem.
No.
No,
Not the
that's I think
Pythagorean
geometry.
You got it.
Yeah,
girl.
I mean, but how interesting is that? And where did you come in connection with physics, and how did you tie that all in together to become Meg?
Thank you. I always loved science, and I never felt that I was like the best at it until I did a summer semester at Oxford, and I studied both theater and physics actually, and completely unexpectedly fell in love with physics. And it was more the conceptual aspects and like astrophysics and theory and all of that. And so I decided to go to college for that. And just before I was set to do so, I had like an epiphany where as much as I love physics and am so happy to geek out and be nerdy all the time and like watch a million documentaries, I need to be acting, and that's just my passion. So yeah, I just decided to take a gap year, and then I worked full time at a regional theater on Long Island, and we toured the country with different plays and musicals that I felt were really making a difference in the world. And I said yes, I was right to put the science aside and go all in for this because it's everything to me.
Well, I'm very happy for you in your transition because I
Thank
know you're
you.
welcoming change, and that's a huge change, and it's following your passion and your purpose. Like Jesse said, those are like his top 3 things, and I mean, it seems like you're following your purpose.
It's really exciting to be in film because I acknowledged to a point that as much as I love singing and writing music, I'm not the best opera singer. I'm not the best musical theater performer. So it was a nice transition. I was able to do a really fun kind of operatic show called The Fantastics at that regional theater that I mentioned after college or during college, during the pandemic when things were starting to come back. And that was such a special experience for me and working again with my mentor, Jeffrey Sanzel from that theater. So it's been really cool to have that kind of be the end of my professional singing journey for now, although I'm sure it'll seep back in with film and plays and all of that. But it was a nice like bookend. And then to make this transition now and move to LA and embrace film, it's exciting.
Yeah, Meg, like your personality is amazing. I think you are so balanced. Like you have so many different directions and extremes, like physics, and then you're so a great entertainer.
Thank you.
But I loved hearing about all your hidden talents and just getting to know you guys. And I wouldn't ask you about a hidden talent and keep it hidden.
What does that mean?
I want to see you guys dance and sing. And I'm sure the fans will too.
Oh.
Let's do it.
Sorry in advance, and I messed up your plans. I'm serious. I'm serious about you. I apologize for the look that's in my eyes. I'm curious. I'm curious about you. If you wanna climb a mountain top, right top, but you got to be right. If you wanna climb a mountain top, right top, you got to be. She could never say I'm sorry. You could never tell me you're sorry, girl. I know you wanna figure out what we should do about this now. I just wanna take my time with it. And it's too late to signal out. I'm already about you now. I don't wanna waste no time with it. If you wanna climb a mountain top.
Jesse and Meg, that was fantastic. I would have to say that that's the highlight of my 2024. Yes. I mean, you're such a good dancer and you're such a good singer. I mean, hidden talents, come on. You guys are talented all around, I would say.
No, she's great.
You're selling yourself short. Host of the century.
I have no talents. I can't dance. I can't sing. I am jealous, but I think you guys are so talented. And I'm so thankful for you guys stopping in today and sharing your next projects, some new insights about your personal life, and overall what we have in store for 2025.
Yes, thank you so much for having us.
Yeah,
It was a pleasure.
It was a pleasure learning about you guys, and I'm sure the fans are going to have lots of questions for you guys and are going to love to hear your stories.
DMs are open.
Yeah, slide in.
I can't let you guys go without our ReelTalk tradition. Take a Polaroid.
Ready?
I think so.